Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stream Many Things. My name is Wheeler. I am your host for tonight on another episode of Brick by Brick, where we are going to be unboxing the Dragonlance set. I've been waiting to get this set. I've been super excited about it. It's going to be a little bit different and probably a little shorter today because instead of our usual 8 boxes, there are 6 boxes and a super booster that has 2 huge minis in it. So I'm super excited. I hope that you guys enjoy, and welcome to Brick by Brick. All right, so much like we usually do, we're going to start with the lighter of the boxes and get through all of them. These are smaller, which means there's not going to be anything huge in these. It's going to be large or smaller, but we still should get about 4 minis per box. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into it. Now, for those of you who may not know, Dragonlance is a setting that has captured the hearts of many a D&D fan. It is by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, and it has a book series that people absolutely adore. I myself am beginning my journey through Dragonlance, but I love the story that happened within the book that came out, and I'm super excited to see what minis I get because a lot of these can be used in other games. So I'm going to give my honest opinion on what I think they look like, how I think they could be used, and we'll just go from there. So box number 1. We actually don't have a big or a large mini in this one. We just have 4 goodness, I can't talk. 4 medium or smaller minis. Which is completely fine. Because a lot of these are NPCs, if I recall correctly, and that's always good because you can use them as kind of just dress setting. So, again, I don't know too much about some of the name characters or certain monsters in here, but I'm going to give you my review on what the minis look like as a whole, because that is what I am specialized in. So, to start off our journey, let's start with the smallest one out of the box set. We have number 5 of 49, the Mount Nevermind Gnome. Now, gnomes don't really get enough credit for how, one, cool they are, but 2, how resourceful they are, and finally don't get enough credit in the mini community because they're just so small and a lot of people don't like painting them. But this one is pretty well done. The eyes look actually really incredible here. There's a bit of a bleed over on the color from the arm to the apron, but the face is pretty well done, and you could use this as a female gnome artificer or really just a gnome NPC. I love the hair color. It's a really nice, like purplish lilac. Yeah, it's a pretty simple paint job. There probably could have been a little bit of shade added in here, but honestly, it's so small. I understand probably why they didn't. So, yeah, really cool mini and awesome start to the set. And that's number 5 of 49, the Mount Nevermind Gnome. Sorry also if it's like going in and out of me being loud and soft. I'm still trying to figure out how to work a microphone even after all these years of talking into a microphone. All right. We'll do this one next because I do know about this one because my buddy Dan at Nat One Fun got a set and opened it up, and I loved the minis he got, and it actually inspired me to get this. So you can check him out at Nat One Fun pretty much anywhere. He's an awesome content creator and a really, really good person. So, all right, the next medium out of this box is number 12 of 49, the white. Whites are pretty cool. They're like a in between of the really hard undead versus the relatively easy undead in like skeletons that you'll throw in hordes. These are kind of like fighters that have kept their martial ability through death and in undeath. I love all the armor on these guys. I love the color change from the underneath, like, God, what can I think? The leathers are the things that it wears to make sure that it, it keeps its desiccated body safe. The sword looks really nice. Again, could have used a little bit of a shade, but honestly, I'm not too upset with it. The eyes look pretty good. And you can use this as is. You could use it as a white, or if you wanted to do like a weird undead zombie knight, you could also use it as that. But it's a really cool mini. I don't have enough undead in my repertoire, and I'm super excited to add something like this because they are relatively challenging, but also really, really fun. So that is number 12 of 49, the white. All right, next in our list, we'll go with the name character because I don't know enough about the name characters and I don't want to BS or work around it. So our next medium character is 31 out of 49, Raven Uthvolger. Now, again, I unfortunately don't know a lot about the specifics of the stories, but what I can tell you is that this mini is painted pretty well. The eyes and face are done astonishingly. There's a little like brooch or symbol on the purple vest that this person is wearing. That's absolutely gorgeous. It is kind of Michael Jacksoning a bit, where it's kind of leaning forward, which you can fix that just by either, leaning it back on your own or putting it in warm water can also fix it. But yeah, I love the sword. I love like the pose and the posture. It could be used as like a swashbuckler or, a random blade singer or bard with a sword or something like that, just because of the pose and the dynamics of that. But a really cool mini. Again, I'm sorry I don't know more about the specifics on the character, but if I ever run the game, I'm glad that I have a mini of it. So it's number 31 of 49, Raven Uthvolger. All right. And the final medium of this set is number 2 of 49, the Ancelon Human A. Now, there are a few of these. I think there's a B, and a C. And this one is kind of like a bard with a cloak. The paint job is, although simple, actually pretty well done. I like it. It could be used as a bard. It could be used as, just a traveling troubadour or companion. But I think that things like these should be more present in these sets. Having commoners or things that you can add as scatter pieces when it comes to like big city fights or things like that is helpful. So a really, really cool mini. I like how soft and kind of untextured the trench coat thing that it's wearing is, because it really, even though it's like very drab on the back where it's just kind of different browns, there is still kind of an aspect of it that's like almost beckoning you to turn it around. So really cool mini, and another one that I'm glad I add to my set in case I ever throw a bard or need an NPC available. And that is number 2 of 49, the Ancelon Human A form. All right, first box down. 5 more to go, and then we get to the big ones, which can only be a couple things, I guess, but we'll have to see. All right, box numero dos. Also a box that has no large in it, at least not from what I'm seeing. Still just 4 medium creatures, which again is completely fine, as long as you're getting the 4. And so far, I'm liking the look of some of these. Yeah, a lot of probably named characters or NPCs of some kind. So we'll start with what looks like the most common. So the first one out of this box is number 1 of 49, the Dragon Army Soldier. Now, this one is also pretty well done. Again, I wish there was a little bit of shading done on like the metallic bits, There isn't. The sword is surprisingly very straight for what normally happens when you get things like this. I like the movement of the pose, the attention to detail and making sure that some of the colors didn't bleed over into the shield itself. But a really, really cool mini. And this can be used as a fighter of really any kind. It can be used, obviously, as what it is. But it could be a guard. It could be a city watchman. It could be a bandit. It could be really anything. And I think that's the benefit of having minis like this is sometimes you don't necessarily need it to be exactly what it says it is. It can just fit the description of what you're saying, and it may not be exactly what you're looking for, but it is still a great mini, and it is the most common. So like this is one that I would absolutely use as like a guard or something in a city if something ever like that occurred. So paint job really well done. Like I said, I just wish there was a little bit more shading, but it looks really good. Paint within the lines is really all I'm going for when it comes to Wizkids stuff. If I want something really done well, I'll paint it myself. But yeah, I really like this. Cool mini and another great addition to the collection. So that is number 1 of 49, the Dragon Army Soldier. All right, let's see who's next. All of you look like you're named characters, which is so unfortunate because I don't know. Oh, well, we'll go with this one. So this is going to be number 10 of 49, the Black Robed Mage of High Sorcery A. This looks like either a dwarf or a halfling, just based off of its size. It's very black, which thus named. It's aptly named, but it's really, really cool. You don't get a lot of kind of the mages that you get tend to be very, human posing one way. So having a femme body to not only that but a different race is great. And having a halfling or a dwarf or really whatever as a mini is great. I love. Obviously, it's hard to mess up the color scheme when everything's just very black. But I love the pop of color and the hair, and the face is actually very well done as well. So, a really, really cool mini and one that can have a multitude of uses. I think that's going to be the theme of this set, is having a lot of like humanoid characters that may be specific characters within the Dragonlance story that D&D released, but also can be used as NPCs or villains or what have you. So that is number 10 of 49, the Black Robed Mage of High Sorcery A. I wonder if I'll get another one in a different form, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, we'll go with you next. Number 15 of 49, a Knight of Solamnia. Pretty good paint job on this. I like the color scheme. I like the cape and the color of like the shirt. I love the handlebar mustache. And again, just a little bit of wash on the metal would have been a really nice addition and help. But I understand, it's not always the easiest thing to do. So yeah, great mini for like a knight, obviously. A city guard captain would be great for this. A paladin, a cleric really as well, if you really wanted to. But it looks really cool. There is a weird dot on the horn, on the helmet. That probably is just a painting mishap, but the face again looks pretty good. Better than some of the faces I've made, but yeah, a really, really cool mini. And I love, again, I'm really just in love with getting a bunch of humanoid things because I don't have enough of those. I really always look forward to the monsters, but I'm getting into both for my website and for just in general painting more humanoids because it was requested, but also I just need to get better at some of the minute details. So like I said, really great mini, great addition to the collection, and number 15 of 49 out of the set, the Knight of Solamnia. So yeah. All right. Last but not least, wow, the antithesis to the one of the other ones we had. We have number 18 of 49, the white robed mage of high sorcery. Um, and much like the other one, there is a lot of just one color on this, although there is some shade on it. It looks like I love the orb. Every mage has to ponder their own orb. I like the diversity that they've been making in minis instead of just making them all white people. They've actually added some melanin, and it's been nice because it's it's unfortunate that people have attributed certain things to only one culture for so long, and yet there's so many people. Three Black Halflings, Tanya to Pass, um, Omega Jones, Critical Bard, B. Dave Walters, I think is his name. Um, a lot of BIPOC and POC creators out there, including the guy I mentioned earlier, Dan from Nat One Fun. Um, Being able to have minis like this is important to letting people know that there is diversity in a world. It is not just, the atypical thought of what fantasy is. It's not, the fellowship being all white people. There's an aspect to it that there are different skin tones and races and ethnicities that make up the worlds that we play in. And having minis like this is very important to continuing that diversity and allowing people to realize that not only do they have a space in this world, but they have a space in all worlds. So great mini, awesome. Could be used as like a headmistress or just your generic mage, but very, very pretty. And I really like the kind of sculpt aspect to some of the garments. It just looks very warm and cozy, which is really nice. So yeah, paint job is really good, face is really good, nothing to complain about. And that's number 18 of 49, the white robed mage of high sorcery. Yeah. And that finishes box number 2. So we're going to go ahead and we'll jump into this box number 3. And I think we're going to have another non-large in this set. Yep, we're continuing our pathway of non-larges. And we did get a duplicate, it looks like. So we'll go through that one first. But let me get them all out of their box, or their bags, I should say, first. Excuse me. And then we can go over each of them in kind. All right. So, first and foremost, right off the bat, clean up a little bit. Quite literally picking up where we left off. Our first one of this set is our first duplicate of this set, and it is the white-robed mage of high sorcery. Again, everything I just said and more. Always glad to have duplicates, especially of NPCs and characters like this. So don't need to say much more. Probably won't even put the picture back up on screen, but we'll see. Just because it was so close together. I'll probably put them both together in the thing that you see prior. So, all right. Next up, we'll go with this guy. He's interesting. All right. Next up, we have number 7 of 49, a Sea Elf leader. Yeah, really, really cool mini. Sea Elves are not something that you see a lot of. A lot of people tend to go towards Tritons or other sea-bearing creatures when they play characters that are from the ocean. But sea elves are a major part of elf society, and having a mini of one is pretty great. I like the aspect of the light leathers. Leather is darkened via, dyes or having its hide tanned for a long time. And when you live in the ocean, you're not going to be able to tan them as much. Or opposite of that, it gets sun bleached because it's out so much. So really cool. I like the color of the like bone spear that it has. The skin tone's really nice. There's definitely a mold line around the neck that looks like it's like choking on something, but it's just the head being glued to the body. Um, really, really cool mini. It's very, it's very generic in its pose, but because there aren't a lot of sea elves, that's okay. Um, Having something just standard stock standing is really, really nice sometimes. So that is number 7 of 49, the Sea Elf Leader. Sweet. All right, we'll do this guy next because I've been looking at him for a bit. All right, we've got number 22 of 49, the Skeletal Knight. Now, I love the pose of this. I like the come at me of kind of having the sword out to the side and the hand kind of up, almost gesturing. Um, Anyone can die and become undead. And having kind of I think the beauty of having the horns on the helmet while also showing the Knight of Solamnia having horns on the helmet that it's holding kind of ties and brings a story about for this character. Maybe that character died and was brought back to life as an undead knight, and now this is him seeking vengeance on those who had wronged him. um, but it's just a cool mini. Like, it's, again, you can never have enough skeletons, especially because they're very low challenge rating. But it's really nice to have, and I really do like the color scheme of it. I like the darkness of it because over time things tarnish, and if you're only bones, then it's been some time since some of your things have seen the light. So um really, really cool. The pauldrons on the shoulders are skulls, which I think is so sick. That looks so cool. But yeah, great mini, great undead to add to the horde, and could be used as a boss or just as a regular old knight that's trying to fight the party. So that is number 2249, the Skeletal Knight. Yeah, he's pretty cool. All right, last of this set, number 8 of 49, the Antelon Human B form. So like I was saying earlier with the White Robe Mage of High Sorcery, there is a difference in skin tone and also hairstyle, but also just kind of a general sense of badassery here. I love the browns mixed with red. That is always a good mix because it really pulls out kind of like the earthy tones of color. The little bandana around the arm is great. I do wish the scabbard and hilt were a little bit of a different color. That would have made things a little bit better. But, it is what it is. I'm also going to start playing music. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that music wasn't playing. Let me make sure that it is going. Not working. That's okay though. So to get back to this, yeah, it's just a cool mini. I wish the color was a little different on the scabbard and sword, but a really good just representation of different characters and different humans and humanoids. So always good to have just a plethora of humanoids and NPCs and just characters that you can throw into places. So I love all of at least the two that I've seen so far. But I love all of these Anselon humans. So this is number 8 of 49, the Anselon human B form. That's the last of box 3. So now we will move on to box 4. And please, if you're watching this, leave a like. Subscribe if you can. It's free. And let me know below after the video what your favorite mini of this set that you've seen so far is. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get to box 4. Still with the non-larges. It looks like we've got more duplicates. This one actually has 2 duplicates in it. So we'll get those out of the way really quickly. The 2 duplicates in the set are number 2249, the Skeletonite, and another Ancelon human B form, number 8 of 49. Again, literally no issue with these. They're commons. Well, the Skeletonite might be uncommon, but skeletons, always great to have a bunch of. And NPCs, like I said earlier, always great to have a bunch of. So not upset in the slightest. Everything I said about them prior still stands. I'll put them back up on screen so you can see them. But yeah, really, really great minis. All right, so the first non-duplicate of this box is, ironically, Ancelon Human C, number 11 of 49. This one is more of an archer, ranger kind of character. And again, just having like, yes, they're named, but having like these interesting characters that you can put into a game or use at a table are always a great thing. This is a great set for commons, it seems. And I'm super excited about the the aspect of them. I don't normally get this many duplicates, but I'm not too upset about it, again, because just all of these creatures are very reusable in scenarios. So the paint job on this is pretty good. Again, I really like the dark tones mixed with the brown. It really brings out the earthiness of it. Wish there was a little bit of a differentiation between like all the brown, because it just kind of looks like everything's the same brown, which is not always fun when it comes to the paint jobs, but it doesn't look bad. The face is a little wonky, but not, the worst. But yeah, really great NPC archer. If you want to buy a set that's going to have a lot of things in it that maybe you can use as your players, if you're not really the best at painting, or you'd rather just buy them, these are a great pick. I have no issue with these. I would use these as a party member in a heartbeat. So that is number 11 of 49, Ancelon Human C, which means I think we have all of the humans, which is great. Yeah. All right, the last of this box is number 14 of 19, Lidara, which this looks like a ghost of some kind, and is probably a named character ghost within the game itself. I love the way that this looks. I love the daintiness of the arms and the silks kind of coming off the back, but like the horrifying visage of the face. And I didn't even notice it till I put my finger behind it, but the eyes are actually painted with like a white, as to almost give it a weird kind of look to it. But again, undead are never bad to have, and ghosts specifically, having different looking ghosts can sometimes add to a level of intrigue at the table, because your party may be like, oh, I know that's a ghost mini, and that looks like a ghost mini, but like, is it different? So it might add some tension to the table. But it's a really, really cool mini. I love ghost minis. I love when Wizkids does translucent plastics and resins. I love printing with it and painting with it. So yeah, it's a cool, there's not much in regards to paint jobs, but it's still really, really cool to see. And I love how it looks. It looks really, really cool. And there's like details that you'd have to kind of like look at it to see more of. So great mini. Great addition to the collection, and super excited for it. So that's number 14 of 49, Lidara. Yeah. All right, we're on to the heavier of the boxes. Ooh, heavier of the boxes. This one's heavier, so we'll do this one. I don't know. We might have our first large. We might not. Oh. Wait, yep, we do have our first large, in fact. So I apologize for the sound. It's going to sound a little loud. Oh, I saw this one. We're going to save it for last, because we always save the larges of the box for last. But my buddy Dan got this, and I was super happy about it, because he is 100% correct. You don't see them a lot out in the wild just on their own. So let's start with the mediums / smalls of the set. See if we have any duplicates. And if we do, we'll go ahead and get through those very quickly. It doesn't look like it. So we will start with this guy, which Dan also got, which I thought his response to this was 100% accurate. This is number 3 of 49, Kender. And he said all he could think of when he saw it was Robin from Batman, and I 100% agree with them. It's just like a little person with green, red, and yellow. And this one's staff is very wonky, but nothing some hot water can't fix. It'll revert back to where it was prior to it kind of bending like this. Paint job, pretty decent. Could be a great like halfling mini. It's pretty on par in size with the black robed mage of high sorcery. So I would say it's probably along the lines of halfling, maybe a dwarf, maybe a shorter, smaller human, maybe a child or a teenager. Again, I don't know much about the character, unfortunately, or this creature, if it's a creature specifically, but I'm pretty sure it's a character. I don't know enough about it to give you the complete information on it, but it's a pretty decent paint job. Like I said, much like Dan said, it does remind me of Robin, but it is still great mini to have. And again, can't get enough of the lovely NPCs and things. So that's number 3 of 49, Kender. We'll go next. We'll do this one. I kind of like this one. So this is number 4 of 49, the Thorbarden Dwarf. And again, like I was saying prior, having different skin tones and races is amazing. It's lovely to see, not only like culturally as accurate as you can get with a mini of this size, culturally accurate hairstyles, but also just having different colors of skin. Not everyone is white. That's just a fact of life. So having characters like this are awesome. I love the steel-toed boots. The paint job on this is actually really well done for a common. The face looks incredible. I love the color scheme of it. It's like that very minor blues and yellows and things like that. The pickaxe is incredible. But yeah, this is also, obviously it's a dwarf, so it's a little shorter, but yeah, this is a great mini. I'm super happy to have things like this, especially just, to have as characters. And sometimes I'll get minis where I'll be like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And then just looking at it after a while, I will come up with a story of some character or NPC that I'll make for my game. So having things like this is never bad ever. In fact, it can just make your storytelling enhanced more. But great mini, great color scheme, pretty good paint job for a common. So I'm super happy with this. Love that pickaxe. But that's number 449, the Thorbarden Dwarf. Probably saying that incorrectly, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. All right, the last of this box is number 34 of 49, Becklin, Knight of Solamnia. Another knight, a specific knight this time, but just as gorgeous as the last one. I love the helmet. Again, having that helmet and then the undead knights ties really well in and gives you this sense of story and kind of cohesion of the set. The banner on the front, I don't know if it's meant to be like that or not. It's a little weird. The sword is ginormous. It's probably a two-hander, but they're holding a shield as well, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a 1.5. Yeah, paint job is pretty decent. The face looks pretty good. The hair is nice. Again, I do wish there was just a little bit more like wash on this. It would be really, really nice if that was the case, but nonetheless, it's still a beautiful mini. I love the filigree on the shield. There's a rose at the tip of it, which I know is like a big thing for the Knights of Solamnia, and Lord Soth specifically, who's another character in this and in Dragonlance as a whole. But yeah, beautiful mini, and pretty decent paint job, so can't be upset. also another great addition. Can be used as a knight, can be used obviously as the character that it is, but still a great mini to have. That's number 3449, Becklin, Knight of Solamnia. All right, the large for this set. Ooh, sorry about the noise. The large for this set is number 29 and 49, the Brood Slod. Dan got this one as well. I think Slod are underused. I think if you read up on them and read the lore on them, they are absolutely terrifying. And you should use them more in your games. So I'm super happy that I got this. Paint job leaves a little bit to be desired. Definitely doesn't look like a lot of time was taken on it. And that's not the worst. But yeah, it's got the little tadpole salamander like creatures on the back of it that it's just kind of carrying with it because it's kind of like a babysitter for them. I do wish that the nails were black because I think that they're supposed to be black. Again, definitely leaves a little bit to be desired on the paint job. I probably could have used a little bit more. And when I base the paint job critiques, what I base the paint job critiques off of is Wizkids standards. I don't base it off my standards because I spend 2 to 4 hours, sometimes longer, on some of the minis that I paint, and that is not always easy when you are mass producing minis like this for consumers. So I'm basing it off of Wizkids standards, and off of Wizkids standards, it definitely could be a little bit better, but having it is just as important. And again, I think slots are really underrepresented, and I think that they should be used more. You can use them for many different things. You can use them as minions. You can use them as bosses. It really just depends. But slots are awesome, and you should definitely check them out. It's really funny. The print on the bottom of this is like tiny print versus what is normally on the larger print. So it's very, very hard to read, but it is number 29 and 49, the Brood Slod. So it's just cool to have. I love Slod. They're awesome. Threw a green Slod at my party. That's a story for another time. If I ever get a green Slod. All right, final regular box of this set. I'm assuming it's probably going to be another. Yep, we got another large. We're gonna go. Whoop. Get all of the mediums out. Oh, maybe we did get the same box. I made a joke that I was hoping that Dan and I got separate box or bricks, but we may have gotten the same brick, or at least close to it. But we're gonna go through our mediums and smalls first. Make sure we don't have any copies. We do not. These are all new characters, which is good. No draconians in this, which is a little weird, but it is what it is, and we work with what we get. So, first mini out of this last small box is a skeleton, which is number 9 of 49. It's a pretty bog standard skeleton, just a good little armored, some of it sloughing off. You can never have enough of these. Like I said before, these will go great with the undead knights, as well as, I think there was another thing, maybe. Nope, I think it was just the undead knights. Maybe I'm just being crazy. Oh, the white. I knew I wasn't. Yeah, we go great with that. The paint job is, I mean, it's bone. It's hard to mess up. But it looks actually pretty good. The axe is a little wonky. But again, hot water will fix that right up. And it's like dusty. I'm kind of partially worried that I got like a resealed package. I hope not. But some of them are a little dusty, and that doesn't normally happen. So regardless, great mini to add to the collection, and super excited about it. I have a few skeletons already, and adding this is just going to make them all better. So that's number 9 of 49, the skeleton. All right, who are we going to do first? We'll do this one. Number 6 of 49, Qualinesti Elf. this is another great representation of what I meant when I say just having commons like this are really helpful. It's an elf character with greens and purples and browns and gauntlets and a halberd. It's a really, really cool mini. And having different races in the miniatures is always helpful, because you don't want to walk into a bar and be like, this bar is diverse, and have a fight in the bar and every single mini you have is a human man. A really good addition. Again, I'm sorry I don't know more about the specifics of the characters, but can be used as an elf city guard for like an elven city, can be used as an NPC, can be used as a character. But I like the motion of the cape, and the paint job is pretty good. Again, a little bit could have been done to assist, but it is good and not the worst out of the set so far. So, another great addition to the collection, and that is number 6 of 49, the Qualinesti Elf. All right, and our final medium of this brick is number 19 of 49, Jaev Uth Veldruz, which is another named character. And this could definitely easily be a bandit. The paint job is pretty decent. I wish there was a little bit more motion in the mini. I like the way that the scabbard kind of comes through the cape in the back. And I like the color added on the end of it. It kind of makes it pop a little bit more and kind of draws your eye towards it. The face is really good. They've been getting really good at the faces that they've been doing on models, which is really, really nice. Again, a lot of drab, earthy colors, which is great. Great for bandits, great for really any NPC. This could be used as, a quest giver, a monster hunter, really anything. I could see this being used as a blood hunter or something like that. So a great addition. And again, I'm very sorry I don't know more about the specifics on some of these characters, but I will do my due diligence and take the time to learn more moving forward with some of the new sets that are coming out. I'm really excited for the next one. The next one is Sand and Stone, and that one's going to be awesome. So be on the lookout for when that video comes out. All right. But yeah, really cool mini. Good addition, again, to the massive collection that I have now just from doing all of these videos. But yeah. So that's number 19 of 49, Jaev Uth Veldruz. Pretty cool. All right, the big for this set is also one, ironically, that I saw Dan get, but I'm super happy that I got it because I love it, and the art on it, or the paint job on it, is incredible. Is number 39 of 49, the Marrow. I do not have enough of these. Marrows and water-dwelling creatures I do not have enough of. Now, mind you, some of my party isn't comfortable with the idea of open sea or things of that nature, but it is beautiful. The metallic like teal on the creature gives it this beautiful kind of like creepy sheen of, thinking that you're spotting gold or some kind of precious gem in the water, and then being drowned and taken back for food by a creature like this. The paint job is absolutely incredible, and the two larges that I got are really, really good additions to my armoire. But I love this one. I love the color scheme. I love the color. I love the paint job that they did on it. The eyes also have like black dots on them, which is really nice. The teeth probably could have been done a little bit better, but again, to Wizkids standards, this is incredible. So I'm super excited to have this in the collection, and excited to throw it at my players at some point. This number 39 of 49, the Marrow. Yeah. This one will come up later again. Just you wait. All right, we are on to the last box of this brick, which is a super booster. This is something that they did as well with the Fizzbands set. where they now just boxed it in one box. The Fizzbands box, I believe, had two boxes. I could be mistaken though, where there was a single huge or bigger, or sorry, large or bigger in each box. This one has two though, and I think it could be one of four. So let's see what we ended up getting. Sweet. So this is where we did differ from what Dan got. We got the other two, which is not bad at all, although I do love that treant that he got. I know he won't trade me for it, but that's okay. So we're going to go with the one that is in one piece first. But I'm going to put the one that's in two pieces together. Sorry, the one that's in three pieces together before I continue. Just want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Some assembly is required, so just be prepared for that. All right, this one is this side. This one is this side. All right, so the first huge or smaller is gorgeous. And this is number 42 of 49, the Lesser Death Dragon. I love translucent plastic on minis. I think it's gorgeous. I think it looks so cool. And the beauty of this thing is that there is so much that if you put an LED on here, it would just light up and give beautiful shadow. The wings are very, very packed together, which I'm assuming is for the packing purposes, but you can kind of move them out. Now, I don't know a lot about Death Dragons. This is the lesser, but it is a sculpt that's based off of a gold dragon. I can tell that just based off of the wings and the kind of weird beard-like aspects of its face. But this mini is beautiful. It is gorgeous. It's got a haunting purple kind of translucent plastic throughout its entire body. The parts that are still there are like a tarnished metal. They look absolutely incredible. I love this mini. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this mini, but I will figure something out. And that is a fact. Again, getting minis like this is always fun because if you have no idea what you're going to use them for, if you're a DM, you'll figure out something. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous mini. This one is incredible. And again, sometimes you don't need a very extensive paint job to make something look just super, super cool. So this is awesome. I love this. There are definitely some of the smaller ones I wish would have gotten, but I'm definitely glad that we got this one. It's number 42 of 49, the Lesser Death Dragon. Ooh, so pretty. All right, the final mini of this brick is a doozy. I love this. This is number 41 of 49, Boiler Drac. This is like a mechanical steampunky dragon. That just looks really good. Like just the small little additions of some of the little pieces on it just look really, really cool. Just rolls around on its little wheels. It's got a really intense tail and some exhaust that shows like flame moving throughout it. The wings are detachable. I did put them in right before I showed it to you, but they do come off relatively easily. But it's just a cool, like, it's a cool mechanical dragon that you could like definitely, there's like a space right here where it looks like you could put an NPC or character on it and then also one on the back. So it's probably a ridden creature. But it's just so cool. Having the wings also be like where the exhaust comes out on it is awesome. There's pieces of it that can move around a little bit. Yeah, it's really cool. I love the different colors of metal. I think that's very important. Having something all the same metallic colors, not really the best, but it is what it is. But having a differentiation between metals is awesome. So yeah, there's I could just look at this all day, but I have to get to the end of what we're talking about. So this is number 41 of 49, Boiler Drac. All right, so if you've watched my videos before, you know that I go through my least useful, most useful, best paint job, worst paint job, and one that I'm excited about using. We will go worst to best and then end with the most excited about using. So we'll start with the worst paint job, because that one I already know right off the bat what I'm going to pick. Brood Slod. I just, if you would have added a little bit of shade and not just like dots of it in places, it would have worked so much better. It's just like cream and then like crimson. No offense, Oklahoma fans, but like on this, it doesn't look good. Just a little bit better. And just like maybe a little bit more on the like salamander tadpole things, because I see that they have both eyes and teeth, and it's not like their eyes and teeth are going to be the same color as them, at least not to the point where you can't differentiate between the two of them. So yeah, this is my worst paint job. Again, I wish the claws were black. That would have added at least some difference in color. It's just not the best. And again, I'm basing it off Wizkids standards. I'm not basing it off of mine. And I just know that they can do better. So that's definitely the worst paint job out of the set. All right. Least useful. Ooh. All of them are pretty useful, but sorry, Robin. Kender. I don't know if they're a halfling or what they are. They have a staff. I'm confused. I'll have to read into the story more to better understand it, and maybe after that I'll have more of a use for it. But yeah, at the moment, this is just not the most useful. And again, this one is usually an easy one for me, but because all of these are like NPCs or things like that, it's a little bit harder. But yeah, I can't think of much to do with this one. I'm sure I could figure something out with enough time, but right off the bat, this one is definitely the least useful. And that's really all I have to say about that. So now we'll go to best paint job and most useful. And for best paint job, as much as I would love to give it to Boiler Drac, I'm going to have to give it to the Marrow. The Marrow's just really, really pretty. There's something very nice about teal metallic mixed with gold. I think it looks incredible. Turquoise and gold is a great mix. And it's just well done. Like, it's well executed. It's well done. I don't see many issues with it. Sure, maybe a difference in color here or there might have helped out a bit, but when it comes to just like the minutiae of detail, because Boiler Drac is easy. Sometimes you can just, wipe metallic color in the spaces that you need to, but there's some levels of this that take a little bit of a detail work, and whoever did this definitely did a great job, even if it was machine. But yeah, that's definitely my favorite paint job out of all of these. So yeah. All right. Last but not least, before the final one, we've got our most useful, and I'm going to do what I've done multiple times. I'm going to do a group. Most useful, that will get the most use out of them, all of the undead. The whites, the skeleton, or the white, the skeleton, the two undead knights. I know that I've done undead as a most useful before, but that's just the case. Sometimes you can have the same things be the most useful multiple times in a row. I will have need of them many times throughout one-shots, campaigns, anything that I do. So I'm always happy to add a bunch of them to my collection. That's the word I was looking for. All right. Final question. most excited to use at some point. Big shocker here, it's that Lesser Death Dragon. It is so pretty. It reminds me of the Ebon Death card from the D&D set for Magic the Gathering. It just looks cool. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but I'm going to figure out something that I'm going to use it for because it is just a badass mini. It looks so cool. And it's so simple. And the fact that it's literally just translucent plastic with probably like a dark satined down metallic, but it is so, so, so pretty. And I'm so excited to use it on my players. But yeah, like I said, probably a little bit of a shorter video today because we only had 6 boxes to get through. Technically 7 with the big one, but they only had 2 minis in it, and I did get a lot of duplicates. So, but I'm not upset with this. I will probably definitely buy more regular boxes. I will have to see if there are any other different things in the super boosters, but that is going to do it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you watched through, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me and to the channel. If you aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and really let me know what mini was your favorite out of the bunch below. And yeah, I'll respond to it in kind. But until next time, we're just going to keep doing this brick by brick. Thanks, guys.